Ovulation is triggered by a surge of luteinizing hormone LH from the anterior pituitary, which occurs a few hours before fertilization. Stage 1. The pituitary gland releases a hormone. This hormone tells the ovaries to produce a number of fluid-filled cells called follicles. As the follicles grow, they secrete the hormone estrogen. Estrogen works to thicken the wall of uterus in preparation for pregnancy. Stage 2. On day 7 of the cycle, the follicles stop growing except for one. This follicle continues to grow and to nourish a maturing egg oocyte within it. Stage 3. The follicle swells until it bursts open, ejecting the egg and fluid into the abdominal cavity. Stage 4. Small finger-like protrusion at the end of the fallopian tube, called fimbriae, sweep across the burst follicle and pick up the egg. Stage 5. The egg is transported to the entrance of the fallopian tube. Once inside the walls of fallopian tube, muscle contraction push the egg gently towards the uterus. Stage 6. The egg will either make sperm on its journey through the fallopian tube, and fertilization will happen, or it will arrive in the uterus unfertilized and be absorbed back into the body. After ovulation, the follicle lining cells develop into the corpus luteum under influence of LH from the anterior pituitary. The corpus luteum produces the hormone progesterone and some estrogen.
If the ovum fertilized, it embeds itself in the wall of the uterus where it grows and develops and produces the hormone human chorionic gonadotrophin, which stimulates the corpus luteum to continue secreting progesterone and estrogen for the 3 months of pregnancy.
If the ovum is not fertilized, the corpus luteum degenerates and a new cycle begins with menstruation. At the site of the degenerate corpus luteum, an inactive mass of fibrous tissue forms, called corpus albicans.
During sex intercourse, about 300 million sperm swim into vagina. Millions of them flow out of the vagina and some of them die in its acidic environment. But many of them are survive because of the protective elements provided in fluid. Stage 2. Sperm will pass through cervix that usually remains tightly closed, but it will open for a few days while women ovulates. Cervix is a thin and more watery consistency to ease passageway.
Created using Powtoon.